Hey guys, so I want to do a real quick video on here, and ideally look for some feedback and stuff on this, kind of what your thoughts are, and see if y'all had any experience with this. But this is something I'm kind of playing around with, and I've kind of got this thing up here because I don't want, I've got my name on one of my accounts I was going to look at, but I just didn't want to, due to confidentiality, I didn't want to give that out. So but this is an interesting thing. This is through a site, if you can see the name on there, but it's alpinegold.com, and you can look that up. But then when you go into it, there's this one here is UPMA, is when it gets in there. Now, this is really cool. I mentioned this on another video, my first video, about these goldback dollars, right? This is actually a currency made with very small amounts of gold actually in the bills, okay, and it's actually got a gold back on it, right? But and the idea about this is, these aren't really made to just be a collector. These weren't really made to be hoarded. And I think, to me, that's what makes these so exciting, is if we can get people to actually use these as a medium of exchange, it changes the whole game, right? Because most, a lot of collectors, tend to hoard, and I'm sure some people will tend to hoard these as well. But my hope is that it becomes more than that, and I think that's really what the founders of that made these. That was really their goal as well. And so, because it's getting to the point where we've got to find a way, we've got to get away from this paper money, right? We've got to get away from this, and what else is there besides hard assets like silver, gold coins, and stuff like that? Well, that's kind of where this, I'm hoping anyway, that maybe this gold bag can come into it, can come into that space. And I don't know if there's another thought was, it's like, well, could they potentially do silverbacks at some point? I don't know if that's would work with their process or not. The way they have to do very small amounts of gold and spray it on this. There's like, it's like a two pieces of very thin plastic or something, and then they have I think the image is etched on one side, and then they put spray the liquid gold in the middle, and that's how they're able to do this 1/1000th of a troy ounce of 24 karat gold. Okay, but you can look up the process on some of that. The good thing is the way how difficult that process is, and that it's a new technology. It would be something very, very hard to mimic. I mean, so it'd be really hard for counterfeiters to make gold bags right now anyway. Maybe at some point there's always a possibility of fakes, but also with all this fine detail, it'd be really tricky to do. But what I wanted to talk about really was this. What's cool about this website is, and like I said, I'm just now getting into this and testing it out, but you can actually invest in goldbacks through this website, and not only goldbacks. And here's a really good video, a picture of like the other. I think that's a 5. Let's see. Yeah, we've got some other pictures on here, but you can kind of it's another way to invest in it. And so, but here I wanted to show you. So I actually set up an account on here with this UPMA. You have to go on there. You can make a member login for free initially, and then you can add money on there. Now the process was a little slow, honestly. I did have, so whenever you go on here, they'll ask you for a deposit, and I'm just trying to make sure I don't show any of my personal stuff here, but but I'm going to show you something right here. So there's 3 different options on here. Let me kind of zoom in on here. You can see this. You have goldbacks, is what we're talking about. But they also have gold dollar and silver dollar. I've already put you saw on that first screen, that $46. Of course, I put like $50, but silver's kind of down a little bit, so that's why it went down a little bit. But so I put 50 towards silver dollars, okay. And so because I'm just testing this site out right now. Really, I'm just testing it out. But you can come in here and put goldbacks, and I just put an order in for like 6 goldbacks, which comes out to like $18, almost $19 or something. So you can come over here. See, I did like 6, yeah, so like 6. And then so the USD would cost me this, based on that conversion ratio of depending on what the gold price is, right? And so the if I get that to zoom back in there, so I can change either one of these. So if I want to go off of U.S. currency, I can do that, and this will let you do smaller denominations too. So if I want to come over here and I wanted to say, I want to invest $50, it's going to show me exactly how many goldbacks I get. So they will actually do like what you can call fractional amounts on this. Now the only problem with that is that can be difficult to convert, obviously. If you were to try to cash out at some point on some of this, it could be tricky. But because this stuff the price can fluctuate in the value. So if I spend $50 and get that, well, this amount can change rather quickly. Obviously with the prices of gold and silver, this stuff can change rather quickly and stuff. So let me go back to the dashboard. And so mainly they do track the gold and silver price on here for the gold dollar and the silver dollar. Let me zoom in here a little bit. Yeah. So you see that it's kind of a little chart here and stuff. And I'm trying to scroll down without going too far because I don't want to release any personal information that I already have. And then you're able to, let me see. Let me see if you can see this right here. Yeah, money deposit. So you can set this up to do monthly deposits. You can actually do, as you can see here, so I've got it set to do an automatic withdrawal from my bank of $50 a month into gold. Okay, so you can do that, or there's silver on here too. Now they don't have the option yet for the goldbacks on that part of it in terms of setting it up to be an automatic amount, but eventually I think that probably will be an option at some point. Also, on this side, you see cards on here. This is really part of the whole thing here. You order a card, and I haven't received mine yet, but you can order a card in the mail, and what it is it's a prepaid Visa card that's backed by this account. So what's really cool about this is that assuming it works, like I said, I'm still testing it out, and I haven't even got my card, and I think there's still a long way to go in terms of service and speed. But what they do is you can actually convert money over to your Visa preloaded card, right? They have to convert it depending on what you're cashing out. So if I decide, hey, I want to cash out some silver into cash, into USD on the Visa, I can do that. You can also set up a certain amount per month to be converted automatically and stuff. So, but again, I haven't got into that part of it yet. I haven't even got a card in the mail or anything yet, so I'll have to see what happens there. But the potential of this is really exciting to me, because what this could mean is that gradually, if I can have, I still want to have my hard assets as well in terms of silver and gold and goldbacks. I still want to have some of that on hand, of course, for emergencies and stuff. But this might be another medium of exchange to actually allow a true savings account, if you would. And then what happens is they when you do an order, they mail you basically a purchase order. They email you a purchase order, and that's why it's a little slow right now. But they mail you that, and then you click the link on there. You finish the purchase, and then it did take a couple of days to process. I can't remember exactly how many, but that was how I got the $50 basically uploaded in here. So it did take a little while, and at first I didn't see the email because it came through a different name, and so I didn't recognize it because it didn't say UPMA, I don't think, on it. It said something else, and so at first I didn't see it. But once I had found it, then I was able to process it just fine. But like I said, it is a little slow right now. My hope is that this would be a faster process down the road. That they'll, if this can gain some momentum, then probably it would speed up at some point. So I think the benefit of this is, like I said, really exciting. I don't know, what'll happen long term, but it's got some really good potential. The fact that this could allow a way to, actually make an actual account, a savings account, that could also be converted and preloaded on a Visa card that you can actually spend day to day on the regular expenses. Potentially, even if you built it up, this up enough to where, potentially imagine you can preload so you can cash out certain things, certain holdings, and turn around and pay bills with. So again, I'm just testing it to see what the full potential of this. But here's one of the things too: is I imagine a part like what happens if let's say the dollar collapses in the first quarter of 2021 coming up. Um, if something were to happen, let's say if I've got maybe if I've got at least maybe I got $1,000 in here or something. Maybe it's a variety of stuff. Gold dollars, silver dollars, and goldbacks, and the dollar collapses. If gold goes to, some say gold can go to 5,000, silver could go to triple digits even potentially. So what could literally happen is that whatever you have in here, could skyrocket. Okay, while the banks are shutting down, having bank holidays, and you can't access your funds, this account would be doing the exact opposite. This account would be skyrocketing, double, tripling, quadrupling even. Doing that, plus any of your other silver holdings or your actual goldbacks you have in your hand, same thing would happen to those. Those would all go up and stuff. So again, you can kind of see with that concept, you can kind of see maybe what I'm talking about as far as the excitement of it. And then if it did skyrocket, even with the dollar plunging, let's say like in Venezuela, then if my amount here is doing the opposite and going up, then even if I need to convert some of that over, well, I've already made my money, right? So now that $1,000 becomes 5,000 or whatever, or 4,000 or whatever. Then ideally, even if I needed to convert it back into cash, then hopefully that's still 5,000 USD would hopefully still buy more than a bottle of water, but at least if not, at least I have this in silver, gold, and gold bags and stuff. Now the other thing is I don't know about this. I have to see because they're supposed to. My understanding is they're supposed to actually have these assets on the back end. Everything you put into this, they're supposed to have access to it. Now, of course, some of that to where if it's fractional, then they can't. You can't really give you 80 cents of gold or something. So there's some issues there that that wouldn't that probably wouldn't work. But so I'm not sure how that would work in terms of trying to actually physically get your assets if you had to. Although they do say, I think it was over here on the goldbacks thing. I think you can actually have. You can kind of read through some of this, but I think you can actually have some of this stuff even sent. I think you can actually even have some of this even sent to you. I believe if you may have to call them or something though. But but like I said, I think it's a really intriguing option. And these goldbacks are as well. And keep in mind that's a separate. There's goldbacks, physical goldbacks, and then this is a separate one where this is offering an online version. And like I said, I think they're still expanding this, and so it still has a ways to go. But as you can see, you can kind of make deposits. You can do monthly deposits automatically on here. You can do transfers. You see on here. See if I can get that to clean up that image. Come on. So you can do transfers on here. They have summaries and statements and all that, deposits. But so you can transfer from whatever. So if you want to move from gold to silver, silver to gold, depending on the gold-silver ratio, potentially you can use that to kind of help make some decisions. If you if you want to move over from goldbacks to gold, silver, or vice versa, then you can do that too. I think they're still expanding. The goldbacks is still fairly new, so they're still kind of expanding that. I just put in an order tonight actually for the goldbacks. Like I said, I think it was just six goldbacks, but just to kind of, again, I'm just kind of playing with it myself and just testing this out to see if it does have the long-term potential that I'm hoping it does. So, but let me know if anyone has any experience with this, and if you like it or you don't. If you had bad experiences and stuff, give me any feedback that you can. Okay, thanks.